Thank you all for being here bright and early this morning. And we are happy to have you with us at our new student workshop. I'm Dr. Hazel Hooker, the Assistant Dean for Student Success here in the Honors College. And we'll be going over a couple of things that you want to be aware of. So generally, we have it's going to be divided into two parts, the workshop. The first part, we're going to be going over Honors College type information like advising in the curriculum, which I'm sure all of you are very interested in. And we're going to have guests talk about the Panther Success Network. We'll get into undergraduate research, study abroad, Hamilton Scholars, and then the engagement requirement. Once we are done with those parts, we have part two is the breakout sessions. So you all will be able to choose, you will choose a specific session that you'd like to go to if you want to learn more information about X thing, which we'll talk about as we get there a bit later. In the meantime, what I am going to do is have the staff introduce themselves. So we have a good number of our staff here this morning, and that way you can learn a bit of who they are, what they do, and their names, that kind of thing. So, Dean Markowitz.
Good morning. I'm Pete Markowitz. I'm the Associate Dean of the Honors College for Faculty and Curriculum. So that means sort of the classes that you're going to be taking and the people who teach them. We're really excited to have you here today. We have fantastic classes that you're all going to love. Those of you who are freshmen are going to go into the freshman seminar, unless you've already met those requirements. And Hazel and the advising team will talk you through all this. But those of you who are upper division, we have really incredible classes, which are all unique and individual. And you're going to hear about a few of them. We only have time to talk about a few of them today. Ones like the Hamilton Scholars and opportunities for study abroad and for doing arch research. So we're really excited to have you join us. Welcome to the community and welcome to FIU.
Thank you. Alan.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alan Varela. I am the Assistant Director of Undergraduate Research and Academic Support Services with FIU Honors College. I look forward to meeting everyone here for today's workshop. And by the end of the day, you will see how research, creativity, and innovation are everywhere and for everyone. Thank you.
Dr. Curran.
Good morning and welcome to the Honors College. My name is Erica Harlitz-Kern and I am the Curriculum Coordinator here at the Honors College. That means that I am the one who is scheduling all the classes that you will be taking, and I will also be hiring the teachers who will be teaching you. I am also working with the Hamilton Scholars that Dean Markowitz has already mentioned, and I will talk more about the Hamilton Scholars later on during this workshop, and I will also be hosting a breakout session about the Hamilton Scholars. But welcome to the Honors College. We are happy that you are here.
Thank you. Ezekiel.
Morning, everybody. My name is Ezekiel Cuevas. I am the honors advisor for our non-STEM students and in particular our pre-law students.
Thank you. Jessica.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica, and I will be the STEM advisor, particularly for the pre-med and pre-health track students. Welcome to the Honors College.
Thank you. Laura.
Hi, welcome, Honors Panthers. My name is Laura Reyes, and I'm the admissions manager and recruiter for the Honors College.
Thank you, Laura. Madeline.
Hello, everyone. We're happy to have you here today. I'm Madeline, and I am an honors advisor, and I focus specifically on Ingenieura and Cardin students.
Thank you, Madeline. Nicole.
Hello and welcome to FIU. My name is Nicole Patrick and I'm the Study Abroad Program Manager. Fun fact about me is that I am an Honors College alumna, and in my role, I oversee the 12 faculty-led study abroad programs that are offered in the Honors College, and I look forward to helping you travel and learn around the world.
Thank you. Valeria.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Valeria, and I oversee engagement. So my job is to help everyone complete their engagement activities each academic year. I'm sure as well that you also do your volunteer hours so to help.
Thank you, Valeria. Melanie.
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Melanie Gomez. I'm the Senior Application Business Analyst for the Panther Success Network. It's a pleasure meeting everyone. But in addition to that, I'll be joining you in a little while in regards to talking about PSN, but I'm also an adjunct instructor for IDH 1931. So I'll be seeing a couple of you later on, later this fall term. But welcome to FIU and welcome to the Honors College.
Thank you, Melanie. So that is always exciting, and all these wonderful folks are here to help you, to help you grow and progress as you go through the Honors College and work with our different programs. So if you hadn't noticed, you should follow us on Instagram. If you want to learn anything about the Honors College and what's going on, like everything is there, like all kinds of events and opportunities and whatnot. So that's definitely a good handle for you to follow. What we're going to do is begin our next phase, which is we're gonna talk about advising and curriculum. So let me call up Madeline so that she can talk about advising and curriculum.
Great, so let's get started. So some of our Honors College benefits. So our students are mostly interested, very popular, which is priority registration. So when the time comes for you to register, you'll be able to get all those classes before the other populations in the university. So priority registration is one of those that all students are very excited. Individual advising. So you will have two types of advisor. You're going to have your major advisor, which is going to help you complete those courses for your major so that you can graduate through your major, but also you're also going to have an honors advisor. So with an honors advisor, you're going to focus on those and we're going to talk about a little bit later, which is the curriculum and how to complete them, the track, the pace, the classes that you're going to take for honors, and how to complete the honors curriculum, right? And on time, especially so that you don't delay graduation. Competitive scholarships. So we do offer some of those scholarships. So for those students, they are competitive, and if you apply, we do offer those, right? So extended library privileges. So especially when you're doing art research, for those students who are interested in research, we have those extended library privileges, which is going to come very handy. Also for those students who are in their 1931, and they have to do research, they have to turn in, especially one of those assignments. That's going to be very handy. Housing, for those of us that would be in Parkview, who are interested in housing, we offer the exclusive housing and spacing there. Career opportunities. So we do have an in-house career specialist who helps you from the interview process on how to get that resume going, that cover letter. So that's very, very helpful. So you're prepared from the moment that you have not only with your curriculum classes, but also how to get those tips and tricks for the interview. Engagement opportunities, we have that, and Valeria is going to talk a little bit more about the engagement opportunities, and not only with the Honors College, but just FIU in general. And then we have those pre-health programs for those of us who are interested in pre-health. Okay, so meet the team. So we have Dr. Brenda Luna, which is the Assistant Director for the Academic Advising Services for Pre-Med Early Assurance Program. We have Ezequiel Cuevas, which is a non-STEM student advising, which is for pre-law tracks and program. Jessica Gomez, which is STEM student advising, and she focuses on pre-med and pre-health tracks. And then myself, which I'm right here, Madeline, which I focus on STEM student advising, engineering tracks, and CARTA. So don't forget, if you haven't done so already, to declare your pre-professional interest. And this is very important for 2 reasons. So the steps are on the screen. You would log into my FIU, select academic advising tile, my major, and select if you have a pre-professional interest. And this is very important. 1, so that you get assigned to the correct and most knowledgeable advisor. For example, if you are pre-law, you would be assigned to an pre-law health advisor. And so that's very important. You get assigned to the correct advisor. And second reason is because we have special sections for 1931 so that you're able to select and enroll in that class, okay? Because if you haven't declared your pre-professional interest, and for example, you select a class in 1931, that's specifically for that population, for example, pre-law, you won't be able to register into that class, okay? But once you do declare your pre-professional interest and you want to select a 1931 class as for those specific students, please give the system from 24 to 48 hours so it can update and you would be able to enroll. Okay, so honors college curriculum. So what are the classes? What do I have to take? So first we have freshman no AA. So what does our first year look like? So we have year 1, which is 7 credits. And in the fall, you would be taking your 1931, which is 1 credit. Okay, and then you're going to take a year-long class. So that is going to be your IDH 1001, which is in the fall. Okay, and then you're going to get auto-enrolled automatically in the same class, same course, same classmates, same professor, and same time. So you cannot switch, okay? And that's going to be 1002, and that's offered in the spring. Okay, so keep in mind, you're going to take a year-long class, 1001 and 1002. Okay, that's your year 1 with your 1931 class. Okay, then we have year 2, which is 6 credits. And these are our upper division courses. So in order to complete the program, the Honors College curriculum, you must complete 4 upper divisions. Okay, and what are those upper divisions? What do those courses look like? So we have for funds and spring, we offer the same courses, which is our seminar, which is our upper division IDH 3034 and 3035. Those are different course topics, and we're going to look those a little bit later on. But those are our seminars. So they're very similar to your 1001 and 1002. But in this case, you would be able to pick the modality, which we have them in online, hybrid, in person, and the topic. Okay, if you decide to do your seminars, please keep in mind that you do get to pick the course topic, but you cannot repeat it. So the code is interchangeable. You can take them again, IDH 3034 and 3035, but you cannot take the same course topic. So for example, if you take digital fairy tales in the fall, IDH 3034, you cannot take digital fairy tales in the spring again. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that on the next slides. Okay, then we have Arch. For those of us who are interested in Arch, we have different pathways. We have the year-long pathway, we have the semester, we have the apprenticeship. Apprenticeship does not count as an upper division. It doesn't satisfy an upper division for the honors curriculum, but if you are interested in research and exploring what it would look like, we do offer that, right? So we have different pathways for Arch. And Arch can vary. That's why next to the year 2, it says 6 credits, because you can take Arch for 0 or 3 credits, right? And that's a conversation that you would have with your mentor, because a semester before, you would have to complete an Arch application, right? So once you're doing that process, that you're completing the application, and you're seeing, what do I want to research on? Then that would be a conversation to have with your mentor and say, would this be for 0 credits or for 3, right? And then we have study abroad, which is a year long. It also has an application process, okay? And it's IDH 4007, and that is the class, and that happens in the spring. And then we have IDH 4008, and that is the trip. That's where you get to go on your experience, right? And that's going to happen in the summer. So Arch and Study Abroad both have an application process, and it's something you want to do a semester before, just because it does have its own timeline, its own process, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on. So that's year 2. Okay, so for year 3, like I mentioned, it varies. It has 0 or 6 credits, right? And why is that? That's because Arch can be taken for 0 or 3 credits. Okay, so we again, year 3, we have our same 4 upper divisions that we must complete. It would be our seminars, IDH 3034 or IDH 3035. We have Arch, which can vary for those of us who are interested in research. We have different pathways. And then we have the Study Abroad, which is our year-long class. Okay, so it says year 3, just something to keep in mind. When it says 0 or 6 credits, you must complete 4 upper divisions, but with a minimum of 6 credits. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then we have freshmen, transfer, and current FIU students. So it's very similar. Okay, our year 1, which is 6 credits, would be our upper division courses, right? Which is our seminar, IDH 3034 and IDH 3035. And we're going to talk about that later. We're going to be able to see on the online website, because we offer over 70 different course topics. Okay, so that's our upper division seminar classes. And then something to keep in mind, the IDH 3034 happens in the fall and summer A. Okay, and then IDH 3035 happens in the spring and summer B. Okay, and then we have year 2, again, 0 or 6 credits because Arch varies. So we have our same seminars, 4 upper divisions with a minimum of 6 credits. Seminars, IDH 3034 and IDH 3035. Our Arch, which is for research, which can vary. And then we have our Study Abroad, which is a year-long course. Okay, equivalencies. So what are our honors classes? So we have here IDH 1931 is the equivalent to your first year experience SLS. Okay, 1001, which is the IDH 1001, and 1002, again, that's a year-long class that you will be taking in the fall, IDH 1001. Same class, same time, same professor. And then you're going to be auto-enrolled for the spring, 1002. Again, year-long course, right? So IDH 1001 would be public speaking. IDH 1002 would be humanities, group 2, and Golden Rule writing. And then we have our upper division, which is our IDH 3034, right? Which is our seminar classes. That is GL discipline specific and upper division electives. And then we have our IDH 3035, again, which would be GL discipline specific and upper division electives. Okay. Okay, so we just mentioned again our seminars, IDH 3034 and 3035, which would be upper division electives, and then we have Arch, okay? Again, electives and our Study Abroad. So Arch, it depends on the credits that you take, right? 0 or 3. Again, a conversation you would have with a mentor, and once you're filling that application. And then for Study Abroad, same thing, a year-long class. And again, it does have an application process. Okay, so I was just talking about this, right? So I keep mentioning IDH 3034 and IDH 3035 in course topics, but some of us are a little bit confused. So this is what it looks like online, right? And we have the QR code in the bottom so that if you want to scan it, it will take you right to the website. So once you put IDH 3034, again, fall and summer A, or IDH 3035, which is spring and summer B, we have all our different course topics. So we have, once you get to see here, we have technology, we have religion, we have pre-law, business. So you would select the tile that is most interested, right? That you're most interested in taking. You would select it and you would see all our different course topics, right? But again, something to keep in mind, if you decide to take art in Miami, for example, in the fall, you cannot take art in Miami again for the spring. Okay, just keep that in mind. Yes, we do offer different course topics, but you cannot repeat the course topic. Okay. Okay, so honors registration. So some of our classes will have department consent, right? So what are these classes? So Arch, which has an application process, and you're supposed to complete the application process a semester before. right? Because when you're looking for that type of research, you're working with that mentor, you're seeing what credit, so that has an application process. You can't just register, okay? Once you complete that application process, it gets routed to the mentor signs, it comes back to Arch reviews the application. So it does have a process and it does take some time, which is why it has department consent, okay? You won't just be able to put IDH 4905 in MyFIU and enroll in it. It won't allow you to, okay? Then we have study abroad. So our study abroad programs, again, have an application process. It is a year-long class. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but there is an application process to that. Some of our seminars, very limited, but there are a few of our seminars that are year-long classes. Those have department consent, okay? Or there's some that you have to read the course description when you go to the website, right? And I recommend going to MyFIU, the website, right? Where all our classes are. Because some of them have specific notes in the bottom. For example, there's one class, Leadership and Happiness, that is very popular with the students. However, it does have a class note, okay? It requires you to email the professor or and take an extra step in order to enroll in the class. So some of our seminars, very few, but some of them do have department consent or permission. And some of our specialized 1931 classes, for example, pre-med, pre-law, business, nursing, some of those are very specialized. What does that mean? That you need to declare pre-professional interest and allow the system up to 24 to 48 hours in order for you to be enrolled in the class. So keep that in mind. Okay, so all honor students must be enrolled in a 3-credit IDH seminar for the fall of 26. So that's very important, right? So when you're looking at your fall 2026 schedule, make sure that you're taking a 3-credit IDH class. So honor students must complete, again, a minimum of 4 upper divisions, right? We talked about the different types of seminars that we offer, the different type of courses, which is the seminars, Arch, for those of us who are interested in research, and we have the study abroad, right? So 4 upper divisions with a minimum of 6 credits earned. And why did we say 6 credits? Because Arch, IDH 4905, has a 0 credit option, right? So for those of us who are interested in research, but you want to take it for 0 credits, that's an option, right? So 6 minimum credits earned, 4 upper divisions, as listed in the advising syllabus. Okay, so what do I have to do to remain good academic standing with the Honors College? So you must continuously keep enrollment in the Honors College coursework until their academic requirements are met. Okay, so students inactive in the Honors College for over 3 semesters without prior approval will be dismissed from the Honors College. Okay, so that means if your last class you take is fall of 2026, that's your first upper division, right? IDH 1931, let's say, right? And then you're taking your 1001, 1002. That's for the fall, right? So your last class would be in the spring, right? You have until next spring. So 3 semesters. You must take a class within 3 semesters. Otherwise, you will be dismissed. So keep that in mind, okay? New students must enroll in an honors seminar, 3 credits, in their first semester. Failure would be rescinding your admissions to the Honors College, right? So you must be enrolled in 3 credits IDH class. And then students who drop an honors course are automatically dropping out of the Honors College, okay? So if you're in a situation where you believe it's extenuating circumstances, reach out to the honors advisor, reach out, set an appointment, send an email, contact an honors advisor, but do not drop your honors class, because if you drop it, you will be automatically dropping out of the Honors College. So keep that in mind. Okay, some more policies, and you can also find all this information on our website, and we have the QR code right next to it on the slide so that you can take a picture straight to the website, okay? So students who earn a non-passing grade of a D or less in an IDH class, again, will be automatically dismissed. So anything, if you get a D, anything that is non-passing, right? You will be automatically dismissed. So students in the Honors College must maintain a 3.3 overall FIU GPA, right? So what happens if you don't maintain this GPA? Well, you get placed on something called honors academic probation, which means that after 3 semesters, if you don't raise your GPA back up, you would be automatically dismissed. Okay, so what does that happen? So let's say that in the fall of 2026, you get placed on honors probation. You have until fall, until the end, right? Once grades are posted, until the end of fall 2027, 3 semesters, academic year, to raise it back up to a 3.3. Keep in mind, students can only be placed in honors probation once, right? One cycle. So what does that mean? That if after the fall, you're able to maintain that 3.3 GPA, great, you get placed out of honors probation. But if not, you would be automatically dismissed. If you are able to maintain it in that year, but let's say that come the next semester in the spring, it goes back down, you would automatically be dismissed. So keep that in mind. You must maintain a GPA of a 3.3. And if you are placed on honors probation, you have one full cycle, 3 semesters to bring it back up to a 3.3. Okay, so graduating through the honors college. So how do I graduate, right? So first you complete your bachelor's degree. You complete your honors curriculum, which we mentioned it was 4 upper divisions with a minimum of 6 credits. You complete your honors engagement and volunteer hours. Okay, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. Complete your honors graduation application and earn at least a 3.3 honors courses and a total of a 3.3 curriculum GPA. Okay, so some of the benefits of graduating through the Honors College. So we have our honors graduation ceremony. So we have 2. We have the commencement, which is with the university, but we also have our Honors College ceremony, which is for those specific in a semester honor college students who are graduating. And then we have the certificate, the medallion, and the tassel, which students receive during their ceremony for the Honors College. And then you get recognized at commencement. You get to sit all the way in the front and you get recognized by the president. And then finally, you have your transcript, which it gets placed on your transcript that you are a Honors College graduate student. So you get a notation for that too. Okay. Okay, and now I'm gonna pass it over to Melanie Gomez and with some information on PSN. Thank you.
Thank you, Madeline. Good morning, everyone. So like Madeline said, my name is Melanie. I am the Senior Applications Business Analyst, co-lead of the 2-person project for the PSN implementation and expansion here at FIU. So what I wanted to talk to you about today was the Panther Success Network. And the Panther Success Network is FIU's centralized advising and student support platform that we have that every student is able to take advantage of when they're an active student here at the university. Before I get started, can I get a round of like a reaction and hands up? Who actually knows what the Panther Success Network is? Okay. Beautiful. Wonderful. Love it. And who can tell me or who can tell me with the same reaction or maybe a similar let's see, another reaction. What other reactions do we have here? Let's do the little like explosion one. But who has logged into their Panther Success Network platform? Who has actually logged in? Okay. Great. I love seeing that. So the reason why I'm asking is we're going to be talking about that today. Okay. So can we go to the next slide, please? The Panther Success Network is one of the tools that we have here at FIU. We embrace technology to help make that gap between students and the administration on campus to make it so that you can connect better with your FIU success team and your faculty, your advisors, right? And ultimately what that does is when you have an easy pathway to talk to someone on campus or to connect with someone who's assigned to you, you can plan your courses out. You can, talk about your have any questions, right? You can have them answered, obviously. And also that helps you keep track of all your courses that you're taking, what you need to take, what you completed, talk about different resources on campus, and ultimately it helps you stay on track. And you graduate ultimately in the idea idea of graduating on time with the goal of those 2 years if you're a transfer student with an AA, or 4 years if you are coming in as a freshman. So we're using this tool to help you stay on track, keep track of everything that you talk to about, whenever you go to an advising appointment, and access different departments on campus as well. Okay, next step. Next slide, sorry. So like I said, PSN is one of the different tools. We're going to focus on PSN today, but we also have 2 other tools that are available to you. So everybody has a declared major, and the best way to work with your advisor and to track what your requirements are for your degree is through the Panther Degree Audit. So the audit is going to tell you what your requirements are and what has been successfully completed and what has not. And then also we're going to be using, you'll be using here at the university, is the Panther Degree Pathway. So that helps you work with an advisor to plan out different courses and in what order, you're going to be taking those courses into the future. So you're going to be able to plan out your schedule going out 2 to 3 semesters into the future, basically saying, I want to take 12 credits this semester. I don't want to take classes on Friday, right? I would like to take a certain number of credits on campus versus online, and so on and so forth. So you can customize your schedule to your liking and to your work and to your daily schedule to meet the needs so that you can plan around, work and everything else that you need to complete in your everyday life. Okay. So, but we're going to be focusing on PSN. The other tools, there is information. I'll be giving you a website at the end of my presentation, but you'll be able to log in and find that there later on. Okay. So the PSN, the Panther Success Network, is going to be how you connect with your advisors and other support members of your FIU support team. Okay, next slide. So how do you find your PSN? Many of you have already showed me that you already know how, but for those of you who have who weren't able to react or who don't know, we're going to answer that question for you. So your PSN or Panther Success Network platform is going to be inside of your MyFIU portal. The idea is that you are going to be functioning day to day, right? Or you're going to be logging into one website. So whether it's looking at your courses, paying for your classes, looking at your degree audit, looking at your degree planner, right? You're looking towards finding different ways to interact with the university, right? It's going to be all on your MyFIU portal. Okay, so you don't have to find another website to log into. You only have to enter your username and your Panther password once, right? So it just makes it easier for you to find it. So you're going to log into your MyFIU portal, my.fiu.edu. You're going to go to the Student Center. You're going to click on Academic Advising, and then you're going to find the tile that says Success Network. Click on the next slide. So PSN helps you keep connected, right? So you're going to have an assigned FIU success team. So by default, because you've been admitted to the university, you're active in program, right? You're going to have an academic advisor. That is going to be your major specific advisor. Now, in addition to that, because you're part of the Honors College, you're going to have your Honors College advisor. So you'll have Dr. Brenda Luna, you'll have Madeline, you'll have Ezekiel, or you'll have Jessica, depending on what your pathway is, right? Or depending on your major. Within PSN, you're going to be able to find your Honors College advisor, and they'll be listed in your advisors page. From there, you're going to be able to schedule appointments with them. You're going to be able to send them messages. They'll be able to send messages to you, right? And then in addition to that, you're going to receive alerts of those messages. So everything is housed inside of the PSN platform, but whenever you're, out and about in classes and stuff like that, you're going to get emails whenever there's an update. Let's say there's a note put on your profile. Let's say you are scheduling an appointment, the advisor schedules an appointment, or they're responding to a message of yours. You're going to get those alerts in your FIU inbox. Now, everything is mobile friendly, so you don't have to be on your computer every day, right? So everything is going to be on your phone if you have your FIU email on there. And also we're connecting PSN to your FIU mobile app. So later on, if you have your FIU mobile app, you can get push notifications to that. So from here, you're going to be able to book appointments with your advisors. You get those alerts, right? You're going to be able to track tasks. So any tasks that are assigned to you, like advising assessments, holds, anything like that, you're going to be able to find that through your PSN dashboard. And then also you're going to be able, because you have this at your fingertips, you're going to be able to develop those strong relationships, make those connections with different members of your FIU success team, and also different departments on campus. Okay, next slide. So when you are finally on your dashboard on the PSN platform, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so from one page, you're going to be able to perform any of these functions. You're going to be able to see who your advisors are. You're going to be able to see what appointments you have and view any post-appointment documentation created for those appointments. So like an appointment summary, right? The notes. You're going to be able to see early alerts, notes, which are comments. You're going to be able to see referrals. So if your advisor refers you to the Center for Academic Success for tutoring, or you refer to let's say Career and Talent Development, then you're going to be able to see that information as well. You're going to be able to see a calendar, a comprehensive calendar, sorry, that basically combines your class schedule with your appointment schedule. So you're going to be able to navigate everything in terms of what's going on campus, right? So you're going to be able to see when you're in class and when you have appointments scheduled in the future. And the last thing is you're going to be able to see your inbox. So any messages that are exchanged on the PSN between your advising team, your FIU Success team, and yourself will be accessible through here as well. Okay, next slide. Now, from your advisors page, like I said before, you're going to be able to see who's assigned to you, right? So you're going to be able to access all of the different members of your FIU Success team. So by default, you have your academic advisor, but in this case, we have two other members from different departments on the campus. So each person is going to have a different role label, and this is how you're going to distinguish between who's assigned to you and from what department they are. For Honors College, your Honors College advisor is going to be labeled, right? As we're seeing here. In this case, this student is assigned to Dr. Luna. Now, any actions you want to perform, I want to send a message, I want to, schedule an appointment, is going to be done through that actions menu. So on the right-hand side, for each person that corresponds to you, you're going to click on the appropriate actions button, and then you have the options there. So if you want to schedule an appointment, click on new appointment. If you want to send a message, it's going to be send message. Next slide. When we're scheduling the appointment, it's going to be all on one page. So it is 7 steps, 7 including the scheduling button, but it seems a little daunting, right? But it's very easy. So because we selected Dr. Luna, it's going to automatically pull in the honors advising department and her name. The only thing you're going to be able to do, you're going to need to do is now select why you're coming in. So you're going to select the meeting type. That's the reason that you're coming in to meet with your advisor. So by selecting from a pre-configured or pre-built list of reasons, you're essentially telling the advisor why you're coming in ahead of time. That allows them to prep in advance. So if you have a question about course enrollment, they can look at your degree audit, they can look at your previous appointments, and they can have notes for you ready to go right when you connect on Zoom or meet in person, right? You maximize the time that you have with them. Okay, so if it's a 30-minute appointment, you literally have the full 30 minutes of talk time. The other thing is that you're going to be able to select reasons like faculty concerns, engagement, let's say study abroad. So it just depends on what you're going to be selecting. You're going to now type in the reason, which would be a little bit of a summary, right? To enhance or expand upon the meeting type. And then you're going to select the date. Any date that is in bold, right, is going to be available. So in this case, April 6th, 8th, 10th, 13th, 15th, 17th. Those days are available. Those are going to be the days that have an open appointment time. From there, on the right-hand side, once you select the date, you're going to select the time. And then the modality. How is this appointment going to take place? So it can be in person or on Zoom. And then if the advisor offers a third option, which is phone, that option is going to be listed there as well. In this case, we only have in person and we have Zoom. So the little green people, right, is going to be in person. The computer is going to be Zoom. When you select either of the two different options, it's going to give you the location. You don't have to write it down because this information, once you click schedule, is going to be sent to your FIU inbox. Now, the idea is that we're giving you the flexibility. You're going to select how you're coming in, and obviously, you can select between what's available to you. Okay. So again, once you click that schedule button, you're going to receive a confirmation calendar invitation to your FIU inbox, and then it's going to give you all this information. So who you're meeting with, what department, the reason, the time, the date, and everything like that. So you'll be able to have access to that. Next slide, please. Okay. Once you meet with your advisor, you can then retroactively, or after the appointment's completion, you'll be able to meet with your advisor by going to the appointments tab, appointments link on the left-hand side, and then click on past. From there, you're going to select the appointment that you would like to review. And on the actions button, you're going to see view or send message. So if we want to look at the appointment summary, we're going to click view. And then from there, you're going to be able to see all the information for that appointment. So you're going to see who you met with, you see the reason, the date, everything like that. And then at the bottom, you're going to see what your advisor typed up in terms of your appointment. So you're going to be able to see any course recommendations, next steps when it comes to meeting with different departments. And basically, it's a summary of what you discussed. And if your advisor gave you homework, let's say, or they have homework or whatever you need to follow up on, you're going to be able to see that as well in the documentation. Okay, next slide. Your messages. So if you want to initiate a message with your advisor, you're going to do that also from your advisor's page. You're going to look at the advisor that you would like to send a message to. In this case, it's Dr. Luna. Click on the actions menu, click send message. It's going to open a new thread, right? A new message thread. And then you just send the message to them. When you're done, you click send, and then it's going to be sent to Dr. Luna. When you receive a message, it's going to be accessible from your dashboard, and you're going to be able to see on the dashboard when you log in. Okay. All messaging is housed inside of PSN. The idea is that it gives you a centralized area to find your notifications or your emails, and ultimately you're going to get notifications to your FIU inbox, your email inbox, right? Once you get that notification, it's going to tell you, Rory or Melanie, you have a new message, right? And it's going to have a URL link that when you click on it, it's going to take you right back to the original message thread or the message thread that you're trying to access. And then you're going to see essentially what that message is. And if you need to, you can respond to it right from there. Okay, next slide. Okay, so this is going to have, just like I said earlier, PSN is going to be one of the 3 important tools that we use here at the university to help track and keep connected with the university. So PSN is going to be your centralized way of accessing anybody within the university that you have as an assignment, right, to your FIU success team. So you're going to be able to connect with your academic advisor, your honors college advisor. If you have coaching, let's say, like college life coaching, financial wellness coaching, anything like that, you'll be able to meet with them. And then essentially it's going to be the way that you can talk to anybody on campus and stay connected. So it is going to be one of the 3 tools. We also have the PDP and the PDA. And then if you have any questions, you want to learn more about these tools, you can scan this QR code or go to advising.fiu.edu. If you do have any questions outside of that, then you can go to Ask Rory. So Rory has a online formulary that you can kind of fill in and ask any questions, and then someone from the FIU Central Advising Administrative Team will reach out to you to give you answers. So if you have answers about A&R Day, if you have answers about orientation, anything like that, about resources on campus, how do you connect with different departments, they'll be able to help you with that as well. Okay, so how do you get to Ask Rory? It's going to be go.fiu.edu/ask Rory. Okay, so in addition to advising.fiu, that's available to you as well. Okay, okay, so that is PSN. That's the Panther Success Network. And it is going to be essentially something you're going to be using on the regular. And then if you have any questions, advising.fiu.edu. Well, anyways, it's been a pleasure, everyone. Love seeing that everyone knows what PSN is. Continue using it, and welcome to FIU. Congratulations. Welcome to Honors College. I hope to see everyone on campus.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you.
And now we have Mr. Alan Varela. He's going to be talking about ARCH and undergraduate research.
Thank you, Dr. Hazel Hooker, and hello, everyone. So the Advanced Research and Creativity in Honors Program is a wonderful opportunity for you to engage in independent research or creative, innovative works with faculty here in FIU. Next slide, please. So the program is open to all Honors College students, whether this is going to be your first year in honors or whether it is going to be your final year, we have several pathways available based upon what it is that you want to achieve through the Arch program. You get the chance to work with faculty on your own independent project, or say if you would like to contribute directly to a mentor's ongoing work, you can do so through the Arch program. This is open to all disciplines because research, creativity, and innovation are everywhere and for everyone. I do not care what any may tell you is the most popular discipline with all the opportunities. I do not care if there is going to be an influencer attempting to say opportunities are not everywhere, because I will show how opportunities are available everywhere, here on campus, off campus, open to all undergraduate students and disciplines. And we offer so many ways that you can participate through the Arch program. If you'd like, you can take down the website. This is where you can find more information about the Arch pathways, but you don't have to necessarily visit it right now because I'm here to tell you with more about the pathways available in the Arch program. So next slide, please. Now, let's say you were thinking about conducting research in your major, or you thought about making your own independent project through your major. So we offer the honors in the major pathway. This is when you are going to be conducting independent research that not only counts through honors college course requirements, but can also count within your major. This include, but are not limited to, the psychology honors thesis, the undergraduate research courses in chemistry such as CHM 4910L. There's also the Honors in Biological Sciences program. College of Business offers the Undergraduate Research Associate program. There are just so many out there where you may have an opportunity to have this count within your major. But if, let's say, you weren't thinking about conducting research within your major, you could, but say that they didn't offer a separate pathway where you can earn academic credit counted towards the major itself, but rather that you would like to still write a thesis. So we do offer the Arch proposal thesis pathway. This is one where you get an opportunity to take your idea and formulate this into a graduate level thesis. One where you get a chance to collect your own primary base data, or say have a chance to access this where you make your own analysis and figuring out if the team has met their main objective, or if you notice there was a reaction when they introduced this chemical into the sample. Maybe you noticed more people reacted to a scenario where they had this video while another group did not. So you get that chance to engage in such amazing experience with conducting research. And this can be one where it is of your own independent idea, or one where you are contributing directly to a lab. So you have Arch Proposal in the fall, where you get the chance to know more on how you write a proposal in the context of funding for a grant, or say if you're looking to apply for a peer-reviewed journal. Then in the following spring term, you get the opportunity to make it into a graduate level thesis. Not only that, but you get a chance to present at the annual Undergraduate Research at FIU conference, which is open to all FIU students. We have a resource fair that has so many colleges and universities nationwide come to meet students, and they want to talk to presenters to know more on their future goals, whether you're planning to pursue the PhD, the master's, the medical degree, the law degree, and even offer summer research opportunities where you can maybe continue the research you've been working on, or get to expand more on the skill set of your research experience. But say that you aren't thinking of that right now. You're not thinking of researching in a lab. Maybe you wanted to make your own painting. You wanted to write a play. You were thinking of that new product that's going to revolutionize not just the industry, but society as a whole. Maybe you want to start that new company. So we have the Arch Project pathway, where you get an opportunity to maybe make that creative work, or maybe that new business plan for a company. We had a alum who designed airline brakes, another student who made a portfolio that she showcased for color patterns on walls, arguing which ones elicited positive moods from clients. Another who made a cookbook because she argued the ones available in the market at that time were not reliable in giving healthy recipes, so she made one of her own. There's just so many opportunities, but say that it all sounds exciting, you may be telling me, but then you're still figuring out whether or not you want to do research or a creative, innovative work. That you're still figuring out what you want to do in the future. So we offer the Arch Apprenticeship pathway, where you get a chance to work with a faculty mentor, and maybe they'll give you responsibilities in directly contributing to the research and saying, interviewing human participants, or that you are going to be analyzing data they've gathered, or it may just be that you are observing the research within a lab. Maybe you are a part of meetings and be able to brainstorm with the team on how they'll be able to achieve objectives within their lab. So the Arch Apprenticeship one. You are not required to carry out your own research project, but rather in that you are gaining experience with a faculty mentor and reflecting off to see if you've been achieving your objectives or figuring out if this is what you want to do, or maybe it wasn't meeting your expectations. It didn't really offer what you were looking for through the experience, and that's still okay. We ask our students to be honest, and maybe there's another opportunity in the future that is going to help you accomplish your goals. So I know this may already have been a lot, but don't forget that you're more than welcome to contact arch@fiu.edu if you have any follow-up questions about the program, and you can also review the website. And I'm more than happy to help if you are looking for a faculty mentor, you're trying to find an opportunity, but if, say, you hadn't received responses yet, or you are trying to see what opportunities are out there, feel free to email arch@fiu.edu, and you can also reach out to me in my staff email address. I'll put it in the chat as well. And I hope you will consider the Arch program in the future. And don't forget that research, creativity, and innovation are everywhere and for everyone. I tell you right now that research, creativity, and innovation are everywhere and for everyone, because I do my research in showing how it is everywhere and for everyone. And I am creative when I present on how research, creativity, and innovation are everywhere and for everyone. And I'm innovative in how I design my presentations to show that. That's why I say research, creativity, and innovation are everywhere and for everyone. Thank you. And I turn it back over to Dr. Hazel Hooker.
Thank you, Alan. This exciting opportunity of study abroad. So Nicole is going to be talking, and you're probably going to get a lot of your questions answered when it comes to this, but she will also be hosting a breakout session if you want more information during the second part.
Yes.
So Nicole.
Thank you, Dr. Hooker. So I'm going to give you all a little bit of an overview of our Honors College Study Abroad programs. So these are programs that are basically exclusively available to you all as students in the Honors College. So I also wanted to start off with a little bit of some data, some information that might help you with maybe choosing to study abroad. So in the next slide, you're going to see a figure on what students earn on average on their first job after graduation. So you can see on average that those who chose to study abroad during their undergraduate time, they earned on average about $4,159 more on their first job after graduation than those who did not choose to study abroad. So that's a pretty big deal. And just want to put that out there so that way you have informed information and you can make a decision on, when to study abroad and travel with FIU. So now let's get into our program overview. Oh, just kidding, our mission. So our mission in the Honors College is to create global citizens who are aware of the wider world and engage with local and global communities with the belief that we can all make a difference. So this is specific to our study abroad area. And now we'll get into our program overview. So our study abroad programs are a little bit different than the other options that you're going to see in the university's lineup. So a big thing that makes us different is that our programs are 2 semester long. So I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but you take more than one class for your study abroad program. Then our programs are also interdisciplinary. So it's not major specific. There's programs that are a little bit more geared towards certain focuses, but that doesn't mean that you have to be studying that for your degree in order to enroll in that program. And all of our programs are faculty-led. So what that means is that you are traveling and taking classes with an FIU Honors College professor. So you're not taking classes in another university abroad. Instead, you're taking an FIU class abroad. And our programs are academically challenging. So you should not be expecting that you're going to be going on a vacation in Thailand, Vietnam, and Cambodia. No, you're going there to learn. And so you should expect to, also have assignments while you're abroad, exams, etc. Because if you're looking for a vacation, then, you can do a trip on your own. But if you're looking to learn and challenge yourself, study abroad is for you. And our programs, they all consist of like a theme that connects the programs. So like I was saying, that they consist of more than one class. So the course that you're taking, it's focused on a certain topic, whether that's the environment, sustainability, and that's what connects the course and to the place that you're going to. Then our experiences are unique. So we really try our best to make sure that what it is that you are doing abroad is something that you cannot do on your own. That it's because of our faculty directors, our professors, that you get to do these experiences and these activities that you wouldn't be able to do it. You decided to go on a trip to Cambodia. Then for the travel length, you're traveling anywhere between 3 to 6 weeks in the summer. And our groups, the sizes, they range anywhere between 12 to 22 students per program. And our program fees, unfortunately, study abroad isn't free, although I wish it was. It's anywhere between $2,500 or up to $6,600 per student, depending on which program it is that you're enrolling in. And it also depends on the length that program is. So that's the overview. Now we're going to get into our courses. So like I said, they consist of, our programs are 2 semester long. So what that means is the first course that you enroll in is going to take place in the spring semester on campus. The course is called IDH 4007, which is an Honors College Upper Division class, and it consists of 3 credits. So in this course, you're going to be learning the bulk of the course material for your study abroad program. So you're going to be learning a lot about the history of the country. And a lot of the base information. Then the second course takes place in the summer semester. So this course is IDH 4007, and this one takes place abroad. So this one is also an upper division class, and it's 3 credits. So now in your travel, you're going to be applying everything that you learned in the spring semester in the summer. So now you're actually going to be seeing the Mona Lisa, or you're going to be going to the European Union Parliament, as you can see here on the France program. So our programs consist of 2 classes, first course in the spring, second in the semester, total of 6 credits, IDH 4007 in the spring, IDH 4008 in the summer. Yeah. Some students with our programs, they are upper division classes. So as we were mentioning throughout this presentation, is that you must enroll in a total of at least 4 upper division classes in order to complete your Honors College course requirements. And so that means study abroad can be 2 of them, maybe even all 4 of them. So it's all about planning your classes to make sure that you meet all of those requirements by the time of graduation. So now we're going to get into how study abroad works. So it requires a lot of planning. It's a group of students traveling together in another country. So there's lots of things that we have to plan and get done to make sure that you all have a great time and a successful experience abroad. So we start our process about 9 months before you even travel. So it starts off with an application in the fall semester. Then once students are committed to their program, the next step is paying your program fees in installments leading up to your travel. So you don't have to pay it all at once, you do it in installments. And this is also a big perk of studying abroad is that the tuition is at the in-state or Florida resident rate for all students. So for those of you who are international students or maybe out-of-state students, you would be paying the in-state rate for both the spring study abroad course and the summer study abroad course. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. So once you make all of those payments, the Honors College will then take care of booking all of your reservations for your program. So what's included are your accommodations for your entire time there abroad, your transportation within the program, all of the activities and entrance fees to the places that you're going to, your tour guides, the international travel medical insurance is also included. So that's just a few of the things. Then you'll be enrolled in the courses. Something important to know is that the airfare to get to the program and to return home are not included in the program fees. You may be wondering, why is that? The big reason is flexibility. Some students like to travel before their program, or they want to continue traveling afterwards and make it a whole summer of traveling, which is totally fine. We just require that you're there from the start date of your program to the end date. What you choose to do before or after, totally up to you. So if you want to take advantage and maybe go to India before going to Nepal, or you want to just spend the entire summer in Europe, totally fine. Also, if you have specific airlines you like to use, or you have points or miles, you can use that as well. So then once you purchase your airfare, then there are some additional application requirements with traveling abroad, like making sure that you have a valid passport, make sure that you have a visa if that's needed for the country, and making sure that you're medically cleared to also travel as well. So we'll help you throughout that whole process. And then the final thing is that you enroll in the course and you travel and learn. So that's the overview on how Honor Study Abroad works. Now let's get into where are our programs, which is always exciting. So we have, we're planning on having 12 programs for the 2027 cycle. So there's lots of options for you all. We have programs in North America, Africa, Europe, and Asia, to all of these countries that are listed here. And so I definitely recommend take a look at all of our programs. I mean, we have 12 options, so there's definitely a space for you on one of them. So definitely take a look, and excited to have you. Now let's talk about eligibility. So in order to participate in an Honors Study Abroad program, you must be an Honors College student in good standing. Then you must have a minimum FIU GPA of 3.4, which I'll get into in a little bit. Participation must not delay your expected graduation date, and also participation must not cause excess credits. So these are all things that we will review once you submit an application to make sure that you do meet all of those requirements before we move forward. So then on our next part, we're going to talk about when exactly to apply. So I know that we have a few different populations of students here on our workshop for today. So I want to make sure that we all have the right information. So for those of you who are current FIU students, meaning that you've already been taking classes at FIU and now you're just joining the Honors College, you're going to apply in the fall semester. As soon as the application opens, you can apply. Then for those of you who are transfer students, so these are students who completed their AA degree in another institution, or were completing classes in another institution and are transferring to FIU for this fall or this summer, then for your case, we're actually going to allow us to accept your GPA that you had at your previous institution in lieu of the FIU GPA requirement. So meaning if you were taking classes at Broward College, for example, and now you're coming to FIU, we would accept the GPA that you had at Broward College for the GPA requirement to study abroad. Then for those of you who are first-year students, meaning you have never taken a class at FIU before, and that this is your first time in the university, you can apply after your first year at FIU. So it's really important that you complete your lower division honors curriculum, which is your first year. And then once you complete that, then you get into our upper division curriculum. So meaning you can do study abroad, ARCH, or any of our seminar courses. So you'll apply as soon as your second year at FIU. And then also for those of you who are first year students who are coming in with your AA, actually, you would also fall under the same category as our transfer students. Okay. Then for program fees. So we want to be very transparent with you all with, with the finances that are required for studying abroad. So there's 3 fees associated with studying abroad. There's the program fee, which covers, your accommodations, all of the activities, the insurance, all of those great things that I was talking about. Then there's the tuition for the courses. So it's at the in-state rate for all students. And then there's the education abroad fee, which is an administrative fee. And that's done for all programs at FIU. So those are the 3 fees associated with studying abroad. So a big thing is that if you have any kind of financial aid, like Florida Prepaid, Bright Futures, grants, any kind of scholarships, these can go towards these fees, okay? So that's a big deal. Just a matter of, and knowing what exact aid you have and knowing when exactly it's going to be dispersed. Now, there are lots of benefits to deciding to study abroad, which you can see here. You earn your honors college credits while traveling, so that's a big deal. Our programs are open to all majors. So, for example, maybe you and your friend are completely different majors, but you both want to study abroad together in the United Kingdom. You can do that as long as both of you are in the honors college. There's also, like I was saying, that we really try our best to make sure that, you're having these unique experiences that you wouldn't get otherwise, and that you really feel like you're living like a local when you're traveling, and that you are a traveler and not a tourist. So we purposely select activities so that way you are immersed in the culture. A big thing with the honors program is that you have your whole class in the spring semester before you travel. So you get to meet everyone that you're going to be traveling with. You get to know your professor for an entire semester. So you can take advantage of that time to maybe decide what you want to do, if you want to travel before together, before your program, or if you want to travel after, or you want to decide on some activities you want to do in your free time. That's a great advantage with our programs. And also these people that you're traveling with, you end up really getting to know each other. I mean, you're living together for basically a month. And so these people end up becoming friends for life. I can say that for myself as well, as someone who studied abroad. I'm very much still in communication with those who I traveled abroad with 6 years ago, actually more. And so that's also a really great thing with studying abroad. And maybe something that you don't necessarily think about when you choose to study abroad is that you're actually developing some skills that attract employers. Because most of the time you're going to places that you've never been before. So in those kinds of situations and the uncomfortable is when you grow a lot. So you're going to be working on your critical thinking skills. Maybe you've never taken a train before, so now you have to figure out how to navigate a train station and make sure that you get on the right train at the right time and going in the right direction. So all of those things, they're building on that critical thinking. Also communication. You might be going to a place that speaks a different language than you. And so you have to learn how to navigate those kinds of situations of how do you communicate with someone if you don't speak the same language. Also teamwork. You're traveling as a group. So you're not, going to the UK by yourself. So you're learning how to navigate, how to live with other people, how to travel with other people as well. And so that really impacts you as a person as well, of learning how to adapt to others. And also adding in again is that students who study abroad earn on average $4,159 more on their first job after graduation than those who did not. So all definite great reasons to choose to study abroad. And so I want to leave you all with our contact information here. So if you have any questions specific to certain programs, I encourage you to contact the program's faculty director. So that's the professor. Or if you have any questions on the application, you can check out our website or contact us on our email. And the QR code that's listed here is our interest form for 2027. So this is if you're seriously considering studying abroad for 2027 and you want to get some more information, you want the professors to contact you, then I suggest that you scan the QR code and complete the form so that way you can get some more information on studying abroad. I'm going to go into much more detail on our programs and the process in my breakout session that's going to take place a little bit later. But thank you all so much, and I will pass it over to Dr. Erica Cohen.
Okay, thank you so much, Nicole. All right. So I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the Hamilton Scholars Program. And the Hamilton Scholars Program is a one-semester program in Washington, D.C. on a paid internship. This is an exclusive opportunity to all Honors College students. It is open to all majors. So when we first think about, spending a semester in Washington, D.C., the first thing that comes to mind is, of course, political science or, international relations. But the thing with Washington, D.C. and our government is that it touches all aspects of our lives. So regardless of what your major is, a semester in Washington, D.C. could be just for you. Because it's not just the government that you will have an opportunity interning with. You could be with an NGO, you could be with a think tank, you could be with a museum, you could be with an archive, you could be with an art gallery. So it's all kinds of different things that you can do. So what happens when you become a Hamilton Scholar is that you will be working with the FIU office in DC, aptly named FIU in DC. They will guide you through the application process, and they will also be supporting you while you are up in Washington, DC. The students who have been Hamilton Scholars in the past and who are in DC right now have all been given opportunities for unique career opportunities. So going to Washington, D.C. Is a great way to get your career started. A lot of our students actually end up getting jobs based on the internships that they have in Washington, D.C. This is also the opportunity for you to make a difference. So if there is an issue or a cause that you are passionate about, or perhaps that you are already doing some kind of activist work with, then this is your opportunity to spend a semester in Washington, D.C. to delve even deeper into that issue. So this is an opportunity for you to work on the issues that you are passionate about and get paid for it while doing it, because the Hamilton Scholars Program is only with paid internship. Nobody works for free whilst spending time up in Washington, D.C. That being said, you are moving to another big city, so there will be expenses connected to what you're doing. And this is why the Hamilton Scholars Program also comes with a one-time limited cash stipend to cover certain living expenses. While you are up in Washington, D.C., you will still be able to fulfill your honors college requirement, taking one IDH course per semester. In this case, you will be enrolling in the Washington Seminar, which is a course that is connected to the Hamilton Scholars Program, and you will be taking your classes inside the offices of FIU in DC, while also taking part in the things that are going on in DC while you are there. And of course, the Washington Seminar counts towards your graduation. So the Hamilton Scholars Program is a great opportunity if you are passionate about certain issues, if you are passionate about public policy, if you are already engaged in community engagement or civic policies or some kind of activism. And I am happy to explain further and show you some examples from Hamilton scholars who are currently in DC in the breakout session. So if you are interested in the Hamilton Scholars Program, I invite you to the breakout session about the Hamilton Scholars Program, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kern. Now we have Valeria, who's going to be chatting with us about engagement.
Hello, everyone. As stated, my name is Valeria, and I'm here to talk about the engagement service requirements that all honors college students have to do each academic year. So what is honors engagement? So students are expected to do complete their engagement pathway starting from summer B until the end of the first week of April, alongside volunteering 20 hours in their local community. This could either be done virtually or in person, as long as there is an attempt or effort of doing any type of volunteer service. The engagement pathway would be located for everyone under their Panther Connect page. So we highly encourage students, if they haven't, please make your account, please get started. So it will be breaking down into 4 categories. Each category is a different exploration, encouraging students to do different opportunities outside of their general major, as well as making sure that they're involved with the Honors College throughout the academic year. But when it comes to engagement, it's not solely events. It could also be non-event activities, such as visiting your office hours of your professor or going to the gym. Those are just to name some of activities that are not just general events hosted by FIU. And to keep an eye out, as we do tend to advertise through our social media and our newsletter, as well as making sure that when you attend the events that you're, at the end of the day, you're engaging with the most and the best way you can to represent yourself in the Honors College. Meanwhile, the volunteer service hours are done through a separate website where students must complete 20 volunteer hours each academic year. And those can be done either virtually or in person. A gift post is a good way to get some ideas of what you can do, but you can also do things outside of the gift post website. It just needs to be reported via gift post. And we also have some honors organizations if you want to get involved with the honors community here at FIU. We also have them on the website if you want to take a look. But if you also go to Panther Connect and under organization tab, you type out Honors College, all the organizations that fall under Honors College will show up and pop out for you to access and get involved. As well as all Honors College students have access to the student-led makerspace. There is 3 primary locations. The main location is in OE 165 in the Modesto Medici campus. There's also a mini Edge Lab at the Honors College 3rd floor in DM, which is where the Honors College is located. Alongside, there is one in Parkview at the Honors College Living Learning Community for students to access. If you want to get some ideas of what they're doing, we highly encourage following their Instagram. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us at hcengage@fiu.edu.
Thank you, Valeria.